Hi, I'm Lisa Meese, and part of the work I do at Holding Space is to help people understand consent and have personal experiences with it. We're understanding the concept better and better as a culture, but sometimes I see things that help me see that not everybody gets it. And I saw one of those things today on the internet. It was a meme that said the LGBTQIA community was trying to add a P for pedosexual, for pedophilia. Pedophilia. And the meme implied that there was no difference between pedophilia and homosexuality. Now, this makes no sense at all if you have even a basic understanding of consent. Part of what is true about consent is you have to be legally competent to give consent. This is why the argument that if we allow two men to marry each other, we have to allow a man to marry an underage child it's apples and petunias. They're not even in the same category, right? Because two adult men can both consent to a marriage or to sexual interaction, whereas children cannot consent to these things. We don't let them sign contracts because we don't let them consent to give their word, right? We understand that that is a thing that you have to be of a certain amount of legal status and sound mind to be able to do. This is also why the argument that if we let two women marry each other, we have to let a woman marry a turtle is crazy. Because if turtles can give consent, they can't do it in a language we understand, right? We can't talk to them and ask them whether they want to marry this lady. Whereas if two women are getting married, we can probably talk to both of them and say, yes, in fact, I do want to marry or have this interaction. So what happens is if you don't understand how consent works or the role consent plays in relationships, these analogies are not laughable on their face. Because you say, well, I understand marriage to be between a man and a woman, and if we're going to make any changes from that, we have to accept all changes from that. And the flaw in logic here comes when people don't understand that consent plays a part in relationships and in the way people interact in the world. So if we lived in a culture that understood consent, arguments like, we have to allow bestiality if we're going to allow homosexuality, just have no leg to stand on. So whenever I see a meme about that and I see people passing it around and saying, well, they might have a point, it is an indicator to me that although we've come a really long way, we are not quite there yet when it comes to people understanding the basics of Consent 101. So hopefully this video has helped somebody in the world understand it just a little bit better. Thank you for watching and have a great day.